We're not exactly great at being alone these days, are we? Think about it. Social media, endless notifications, multiplayer online games, there is always this buzz of interaction surrounding us. An endless hum making sure we never feel fully alone. But here's the thing, most of these interactions are shallow, just enough to trick our brains into thinking we're being social. And sure, we human beings absolutely need social interaction to stay emotionally healthy and mentally sharp, but somewhere along the line we lost the sight of something equally important. The hidden power of loneliness. Wait, loneliness has power? Yeah, my attentive viewer, you heard correctly. Loneliness, when embraced intentionally, carries a power we often overlook. Games, interestingly enough, are uniquely suited to help us harness this hidden strength. They offer us safe havens, quiet spaces away from noise, where we can fully immerse ourselves in another world, or even better, reconnect with ourselves. If you watched my channel before, you know how much I love Skyrim, so forgive me for mentioning it again. But seriously, some of the deepest, most profound gaming experiences I've had came from those quiet moments wandering alone through a misty forest or standing beside a gently flowing river at 3 am, both in game and, admittedly, in real life. But what exactly makes those quiet moments so powerful? Why do so many people deeply love exploring the vast expanse of games like Legends of Zelda or Red Dead Redemption 2, despite them being largely solitary experiences? Maybe it's because intentional solitude is honestly kind of scary. It's one thing to come home tired and sleep after a busy day surrounded by friends, but it's entirely different to purposely isolate yourself, spending meaningful time alone as comfortably as you would with a close friend. Think about it. How many of us regularly go to cinema alone, eat out at restaurants by ourselves, or something even more scary, go alone to another country on a trip? There is something undeniably intimidating about being alone with our own thoughts, but maybe that's exactly why it's so important. And games makes this solitude far less daunting. When you silence your phone, close social media, and fully immerse yourself as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, there's no hesitation. You naturally embrace that solitude, fully living out his journey and experiencing each quiet reflective moment deeply. Games transform isolation from something uncomfortable into something genuinely inviting. Instead of feeling anxious or awkward, being alone in this world feels like adventure, an opportunity to explore both vast landscapes and the quieter corners of your own thoughts. It's like stepping into character's shoes helps you get closer to the real you. And games like Skyrim, like Audivelle, don't just allow solitude, they celebrate it. These games invite curiosity, creativity, and above all, freedom. Skyrim doesn't mind if you skip saving the world and instead spend hours collecting every cheese wheel in Tamriel. Red Dead Redemption cheerfully invites your experiments, like testing what happens when an alligator gets to run on ice. It's actually a funny story, and I might make a separate video about it if you write about it in the comments. And surprisingly, it's not only Skyrim that makes you feel this way. Sandbox games double down on this concept. They aren't concerned with railroading you through tightly scripted narrative at all. They're worlds waiting patiently for you to decide how to interact with them. Want to build a massive city from scratch, or peacefully roam the wilderness, hunting and fishing without worrying about your objectives? The game is happy to let you do exactly that. And the best part is, those games don't have objectives at all. The game lets you take ownership of your experience. And when the game's experience becomes yours, it transforms from mere entertainment into something deeply personal. And when it's personal, it's much easier to enter so-called flow state. Your focus sharpens and the world around you fades away. It stops being just a game, it becomes an emotional experience unique to you. And that's exactly when the magic starts. Your immersion deepens and suddenly you feel emotional weight of the story, the meaning behind every choice. You feel deep connection to the character you're playing, and you feel satisfaction for each small achievement. This sense of genuine connection is something multiplayer games with their battle passes and constant competitive buzz rarely capture. In fact, let's be honest, many games today rely heavily on external rewards, daily quests, or constant social validation to keep us engaged. And sure, it's fun for a while, but it's superficial. You're not truly invested. You're just riding the wave, driven by the fear of missing out or being labeled as not a real gamer. But when you sink into those single-player journeys, you leave all of that behind. You start to discover what truly fulfills you. Maybe you prefer creating cozy spaces rather than climbing competitive ladders. Or perhaps the slow, peaceful rhythm of tending your virtual farm brings more joy than chasing fleeting achievements. And if you look closely, there's whole community out there, players who embrace simplicity and solitude in gaming. Take those folks in Red Dead who spend hours fishing, setting up camps, or even experimenting to see what happens when an alligator slides helplessly across a frozen lake. There are even whole role-playing servers dedicated exactly to that, just living, sometimes mundane lives in this open-world adventure. These are the moments of true honest joy, moments when games help you reconnect with yourself. And there's something undeniably exhausting about this constant pressure to move fast. Everywhere we look, there's an expectation: build your legacy, own a home, have a family, fulfill yourself creatively, heck, maybe even build an empire, ideally before you turn 30. But we, my dear viewers, we're not cars or machines. You can't just press the gas pedal and watch life accelerate from 50 to 200 kilometers or miles per hour. The truth is, the faster we try to go, the quicker everything rushes past us. Because life, just like a great game, isn't about hitting every milestone at top speed. It's about experiencing each and every moment deeply and genuinely. We often imagine ourselves needing to become artists, influencers, or star singers to feel creatively fulfilled. But perhaps true fulfillment lies in simpler joys, like carefully decorating your farm, building that impressive castle in your favorite game, or sharing a memorable adventure with a stranger you met randomly online. And perhaps it's precisely when we're alone, intentionally alone, that we truly begin to discover what matters the most. Some of my favorite gaming moments come right after defeating a big boss or overcoming a tough challenge. It's in that brief pause afterward, when adrenaline fades into calm satisfaction, that I feel something special. You know those moments, right? When the dust settles, dramatic music quiets, and you're finally free to take in your own surroundings. Maybe checking your inventory, seeing the loot you've earned, and letting your imagination run wild with possibilities. Perhaps you even test out your new sword, swinging it playfully into empty air, just like a kid pretending to be a heroic knight with a wooden stick. Those quiet personal reflections are when games truly resonate, because more than mere entertainment, they become deeply personal experiences. And honestly, it's these moments of silence and solitude in games that mirror important turning points in real life too. For me, even this YouTube channel came from one such quiet moment. Last summer, I got pretty sick with pneumonia and ended up stuck in a hospital for almost a month. And before that, my life was all about the career hustle. Climbing the ladder, pushing forward, always chasing after the next promotion or achievement. But during those weeks alone, lying quietly with my thoughts, it suddenly clicked for me that I've been running a race that I didn't even truly want to win. I realized what I truly wanted wasn't climbing higher in some corporate ladder. I wanted to talk about games. The art, the emotions they evoke, the way talented developers craft worlds that resonate deeply within us. And while your moments of reflection will not involve hospital or illnesses, hopefully, I bet you have your own version. Some unexpected quiet moment that made you realize what genuinely matters to you. And that's why loneliness matters, because it's in these deliberate moments of solitude, both in gaming and in life, that we stop listening to everyone else and finally listen to ourselves. So, next time you find yourself alone in game, or maybe just alone in general, don't shy away from it. Lean into it. Cherish it. And let it teach you something important about who you are and what you truly value. Because sometimes the most meaningful adventures aren't the ones we share with the crowd, they're the quiet journeys we take within ourselves.